There was a swordsman who fought 61 duels in his life. He won every single one. And on the night before he died, alone in a cave, he didn't write about swordsmanship. He wrote 21 sentences. No explanations, no stories, just rules. Cold, short, brutal rules for how to live. That document is called the Dokkodo, the way of walking alone. And today, I'm going to show you how 7 of those 21 lines can rebuild a broken mind. But I have to warn you, this is not motivation. This is the opposite of motivation. Musashi didn't believe in feeling inspired. He believed in something colder and something far more powerful. Before we go further, subscribe to the channel, hit like, and comment which area of your life feels the most unclaimed right now, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why. Chapter 1. The man who agreed with everyone. Let me tell you about Daniel. 34 years old, smart, likable, and completely invisible in his own life. At work, he agreed with his boss, even when he thought his boss was wrong. At home, he agreed with his friends about which restaurant, which movie, which plan, because disagreeing felt like a small war he didn't want to fight. Daniel wasn't weak. He was exhausted. Exhausted from spending every ounce of his energy trying to be liked, trying to belong, trying to make sure nobody was upset with him. One night his older brother, a quiet man who'd spent 2 years traveling alone after a divorce, said something that stuck in Daniel's chest like a splinter. "You don't have an opinion problem, Daniel. You have a loneliness problem. You're so afraid of walking alone that you'll follow anyone, anywhere, just to have company." Daniel laughed it off, but he didn't sleep that night. Chapter 2. The document. A few weeks later, his brother sent him a photograph of an old handwritten scroll from a museum in Japan. 21 lines. Musashi wrote them 8 days before his death, sitting in a cave called Rigando, addressed to nobody but himself. His brother wrote underneath it, "Read line 4, then call me." Line 4 said this: "Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world." Daniel read it 3 times. He'd spent his whole life doing the exact opposite, thinking deeply about how the world saw him, and barely at all about the world itself. He called his brother. "What does this even mean?" His brother said, "It means stop starring in your own movie. Nobody's watching as closely as you think. Go live." Chapter 3. Principle 1. Accept everything just as it is. The first precept on Musashi's list is the hardest to swallow. Accept everything just as it is. Not everything happens for a reason. Not good vibes only. Just, this is what happened. Now what? Daniel started small. His flight got cancelled. Old Daniel would have spiraled, called the airline furious, ruined his own evening. New Daniel looked at the departure board, said okay, and found the next flight. That's it. No drama, no resistance, no energy wasted arguing with reality. A Harvard-trained clinical psychologist studying resilience found that people who mentally resist an unchangeable event report significantly higher stress hormones than people who accept it and move to solutions immediately. The event isn't what breaks you. The fighting against the event is what breaks you. Chapter 4. Principle 2. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. The second precept says, do not, under any circumstances, depend on a partial feeling. In plain language, don't let comfort make your decisions for you. Daniel used to choose his entire week around what felt easiest. Skip the gym because the couch felt better. Avoid the hard conversation because silence felt safer. Musashi's warning is simple. Pleasure is not the enemy, but pleasure as your compass will always steer you into mediocrity. Because the easiest path and the right path are almost never the same road. Daniel picked one hard thing each day, not because he wanted to, but because he decided he was going to be a person who does hard things regardless of mood. Within 3 weeks, he noticed something strange. He stopped asking himself, "Do I feel like it?" before starting a task. The question had simply disappeared. Chapter 5, Principle 3. Do not regret what you have done. This is where most people flinch. Do not regret what you have done, not don't make mistakes. Musashi knew mistakes were guaranteed. What he refused to accept was the loop replaying a decision 100 times. Punishing yourself for a version of you that didn't have today's information. Daniel had a business idea. He killed 2 years earlier out of fear. For months he replayed it, torturing himself. When he read this line, something shifted. He wrote the decision down, wrote one sentence. I did what I understood at the time, and closed the notebook. A UCLA-based study on rumination found that self-blame doesn't improve future decision-making. It only extends the emotional cost of the original mistake, sometimes for years, with zero added benefit. Regret isn't wisdom. It just feels like wisdom because it's loud. Chapter 6, Principle 4. Do not be jealous. Musashi's rule here is brutally short. Do not be envious of another's good or evil. Notice, good or evil. He's not just telling you not to envy someone's success. He's telling you not to waste energy resenting someone's failures either. No gossip, no schadenfreude, none of it. Both are the same trap. Measuring your life against someone else's instead of your own standard. Daniel had a co-worker who got the promotion he wanted. Old Daniel would have quietly resented him for months. New Daniel asked himself one question Musashi's line forced into his head. What does his win take away from my path? Nothing. It took nothing. He congratulated the guy and went back to his own work the same afternoon. Chapter 7, Principle 5. Never depend on a partial feeling for yourself either. There's a version of this rule people miss entirely. Musashi wasn't just talking about resisting pleasure. He meant self-pity too. In all things, have no preferences. Don't build your identity around fragile moods. Daniel used to say, I'm just not a morning person, or I'm just not disciplined. Those weren't facts. They were excuses wearing a costume. The moment he stopped defining himself by his feelings stopped controlling his calendar. Chapter 8, The Reunion. 6 months later, Daniel visited his brother. His brother didn't say much, just looked at him and said, You walk differently now. Daniel laughed. I'm not doing anything special. I just stopped needing everyone's approval before I moved. His brother nodded. That's the whole document, Daniel. 21 lines. And every single one is really just saying, walk alone and you'll finally walk straight. That's not isolation, not coldness. It means your decisions no longer bend around what other people expect, what feels comfortable, or what you regret from yesterday. You accept what is. You act without needing to feel like it. You release the mistake the moment it's made. You start measuring yourself against anyone else's road. And slowly, without ever announcing it to anyone, you become a person nobody can shake. Chapter 9, The challenge Musashi didn't write these 21 lines to be admired. He wrote them to be lived. So here's what I want you to do. Pick just one single line from what you heard today. Maybe it's accepting a situation you've been fighting for weeks. Maybe it's finally letting go of a decision you keep replaying at 2 a.m. Choose one and apply it for the next 7 days. Not all 21. Just one. Walk one line alone and see what changes. Comment below which principle you're choosing: accepting what is, releasing regret, killing jealousy, or acting without needing motivation. I read every single comment, and in 1 week I'll come back to this exact video to see who actually walked the path. If this helped you, subscribe to ThinkVibeX, because the next video builds directly on this mindset, and I don't want you to miss it. Walk alone. Walk straight. I'll see you in the next one.